It's me, Mario!
Hi, I'm Chad Amato. I'm the general manager here at Mario and Luigi's.
Hi, I'm Mitch Hall, and I am the assistant manager here at Mario and Luigi's.
So the purpose of making this video today is we wanted to highlight some of the new HR practices that we've implemented. We've always strived for the best customer service possible here at Mario and Luigi's, and mainly to do that, we need to have the best wait staff possible. And we want to make sure that we're getting the best applicants and training them and giving them the best skills possible to give the best experience to our customers.
We chose to use structured interviews because we want to make sure all of our applicants are evaluated on a level playing field. In our structured interviews, we use consistent questions throughout the interviews so that all of the applicants are asked the same questions. We also use situational rather than opinion-related questions.
Another method we want to use when evaluating our applicants is concurrent validation. We know that our current employees have the skill sets that we want out of our applicants, so we want to compare their answers on the questionnaire to those of our applicants.
Winnie?
Here we go!
Winnie, nice to meet you. Thanks for coming in
Hi,
today.
I'm Mitch. Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming in.
All right, Winnie, just looking at your resume here, we see you've got some previous work experience here. We just want to ask you one question here. Can you describe, a stressful situation that you had to deal with at your last job and just how you went about that?
In my previous job, there was one customer's coupon expired, but he still insisted that because he loved our restaurant so much, so he kept that coupon for a long time. So I also went to ask my managers to give him some discounts out because we want to remain him as our loyal customer.
Great. I see here on your resume, Winnie, that you worked at P.F. Chang's as your last job. Name a time in that experience that you had conflict with your supervisor, and how did you handle that conflict?
Mostly I follow the company's rules, so there's no much conflict between I and supervisor. But if this happens, I would definitely bravely to talk this out and make things all clearly between us, because I think that is the best way to solve the conflict.
Okay, Winnie, and then, along those same lines, obviously we're all human, we all make mistakes. If you were to make a mistake on the job, how would you go about handling that?
When I was carrying the food, I spilled the food all over the floor, so I know I was very careless. So I apologized to my customer and then give them some discounts off. And then next time I bring the food on time and even faster.
So, Chad, what do you think about Winnie?
I thought she was great. I mean, her resume looks real good. I thought she was really personable. I mean, I thought she had a great interview. But, what about you?
Yeah, I really liked her. She seemed really friendly, really tolerant, and she really seemed to know what she was doing.
Yeah, for sure. So I think we'll keep her on here.
Yeah, let's move forward with her for sure. Kate?
Hi, Kate. Nice to meet you.
Nice
Thanks
to
a lot for
meet you.
coming in
Hi,
today.
Kate. Yeah, nice to meet you. Thanks for coming in.
Let's go!
All right, Kate, looking at your resume here, it's, very impressive. Just a question right off the bat here. Just describe a stressful situation that you had working at your last job and how you handled it.
At my last job, I had to learn 103 French wines in one night, but I learned them all because I have a perfect photographic memory.
Kate, could you name a time that you had conflict with your supervisor in your past jobs, and how did you handle that conflict?
My last job, I just laughed at them, and then I actually became the manager. Yep.
Okay, Kate, and then, along those same lines, if you were to make a mistake on the job, just how would you go about handling that?
Yeah, I don't make mistakes.
Chad, what did you think about Kate's interview?
It was a little intense. Some of those answers, I didn't know really how to handle those. I don't know, what were you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, her resume seems a little bit too flawless. The zero mistakes thing kind of threw me off a little bit. I don't know. I think that we might need to cross her off.
Yeah, the supervisor comment kind of freaked me out a little bit too.
Me too.
So maybe we'll see who else we got on deck there.
Definitely.
Although we strive for the best waiting staff in the business, we still understand that they need to have a life outside of work.
Squidward, I must tell you. Thank you. What really won me over was your brilliant waiter. It's as if all he knows is fine dining and breathing. I must know your name.
My name?
Yeah, Yes, your name, son.
Beef Wellington?
No, your name.
The fork on the left?
Stop joking. Tell him your name.
My name?
What's his name? What's his name? I got nothing on a name. Come on, baby, what's the name? We threw out his name! I'm so very sorry. I don't know what has gotten into that.
More soup for your armpits?
Hey, Austin, thanks for coming.
It's nice to finally meet you guys. I'm really excited for the job.
Hey.
Yeah, you can just sit down if you want.
You sure?
Yeah, just take a seat.
I mean, that's kind of how I agreed. Okay, well.
All right, Austin. Looking at your resume here, it's a little interesting, and not really sure what to make of it.
Your resume is a menu from another company. You realize that, right? I'm not really sure what you're going for, but let's just we'll just work with it.
I'm going to check my file here.
Okay, Austin. Let's get it started here. Describe in your last job a stressful situation that you had and how you handled that.
Okay, so high stress. Well, that's pretty easy for me, given that my most recent job was stressful. I was an intern for a hot dog vendor, just on a local intersection. And it was really hard because we had 10 customers, like a whopping 10, in the whole month. So it was hard to have to deal with that high level of customers. And I remember that there was this huge line, one guy, huge line. And he's just asking for all these hot dogs. I think it was at least one, maybe. And then he wanted ranch, and I'm like, ranch is weird for a brat, and he wanted ketchup as well. And sometimes you have to know which hand to grab with for maximum efficiency.
Sure.
And just from there, I decided to, really get through the idea of giving him his ranch dressing request. And, we powered through it. We got through this struggle, and that was about it.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, Austin, could you could you name a time when you had conflict with the supervisor, and how did you handle that conflict?
Well, that's pretty easy. My old manager at McDonald's, fine dining, he would send me back to work with the customers a lot, so I sent him to a hospital.
All right, Austin. Another one here. Let's say you were to make a mistake on a job. How would you go about handling that?
Well, Chad, when I'm owning your company in about a month or two, you know how I can pretty much get through the process here. It's not as much what I can do wrong, because I do so much of that, but make it work. So the question that I have to ask you guys is, what if I did something right?
Yeah.
Now, before you guys conclude here, I basically have the job because I'm protected under the Civil Rights Act and the new additions to it that basically make me immune. So,
What addition are you specifically covered by?
well, it's the Pregnancy Discrimination Act, so I'm good basically.
You're a man.
So, Chad, what did you think about Austin's interview?
There's a lot of things I could say that I just don't think are going to be appropriate for this video. What about you?
Yeah, literally everything that we asked him, his answers made no sense to any of our questions.
Yeah, no.
He's definitely a crazy person.
Yeah.
I think we should just cross him off the list now. Now that we've selected Winnie, the next step in our process is to put her through a training program here at Mario and Luigi's.
1990. Ah, spaghetti. Ah, ravioli.